WTW. For tonight's video, this is going to be your guide on how to use Palafin and Palafin Hero form in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'll be providing some competitive movesets and some fun meme movesets as well. If you have anything to add to my moveset or another moveset you'd like to see, please leave below in the comment section of the video. Always like to hear feedback, and it's fun to see what sort of other movesets people come up with. Without further ado, let's have a look at Palafin. Now, Palafin has the ability 0 to Hero. What this means is, with Palafin, you need to actually swap it in and then swap it out for it to go into its Hero form. Now, the Hero form has much better stats when you compare them. If you look at the base form here and then you compare it, look at that attack stat there. Anyway, back to the base form. So first things first, how do we get it into its Hero form in a proper, competitive manner? These are a couple of things I was thinking of. So you could potentially lead with it and use Flip Turn. So Flip Turn's quite a good move because you attack the opponent and then you swap out. Basically a water U-turn. The EV spread I've got for this, we've got Jolly Nature and I've got Max Attack. And this obviously counts onto the Palafin Hero. So it has very good stats after it transforms. And that's one way of doing it. You could straight up raw swap it if you wanted to. Like, the only thing about running Flip Turn I find on this is, well, you've taken up a move slot. You could have something much better on there as your water stab, then that sort of frees the move set up. So then again, at the same time, it does let the opponent set up. But that's just something to think about there. Another actual way you could do here, item, is a jetpack. So Close Combat is quite a good coverage move on Palafin, and especially in Palafin Hero. So you could straight up go Close Combat. Pretty damn good speed with Jolly, 328 speed at level 100. So you go for the Close Combat, you get a pretty nice neutral hit in. Even something neutral is going to do a fair bit of damage, of course, depending on the opponent. And then a jetpack will kick in and automatically swap you out, and then the next time you're swapped in, you're out of your base form and you're into the hero form. I think those two methods there are the best. Some more fun things you could, there's another, you got other things like eject button. That's more gimmicky because you'd have to get hit by a move. These ones are sort of forcing you into, you're obviously forcing you out of the swap on purpose. So Flip Turn and Close Combat. If you got any other suggestions how to put yourself into the base form to the Palafin Hero to 0, let me know. I know there's some other ways you do that. I'm sort of just looking through here right now. You could actually do it. I'm trying to think. There's maybe you could do it via a substitute with another Pokemon or Baton Pass, but yeah, they're going to probably be your best bets to actually get that into the hero form. So let's have a look at the hero form now. This is actually a physical moveset here. This is going to work pretty nicely. Now, I will make some modifications to this too because, I don't know, there's always the look at this Jet Punch and a more powerful water type move. Let's have a look at it anyway. So I've got the similar EVs. This is the Adamant versus Jolly, sort of like what you want. So Adamant, you get a humongous attack. This is crazy. 160 base attack, and then you've got 299 speed, which is very good coming off 100 base speed. Now, when you go from Adamant to Jolly, the attack drops drastically, obviously because the base is so huge. So I'd probably be running Adamant Nature if you're going to be running stuff like Jet Punch. Jet Punch is a really nice move. It's kind of weak though. It's only 60 base power. I know it's coming off 160 base attack, but I tend to prefer running another water type move, but I'll get to that in a sec. Now, the other coverage moves that are quite handy on Palafin Hero is Ice Punch. That's great for grass type Pokemon, dragon type Pokemon. They like coming into those water type moves. You've got Close Combat there. Once again, that can work well with a base for or the eject pack. If you want to run a eject pack, you don't absolutely have to. It's just a really powerful physical move that, fighting is always great coverage. Now, we've got acrobatics here. Acrobatics, it could be good if you have a consumable item like a jetpack. That'd be a double whammy then. That'd really be quite nice on this strategy. But if you weren't going to do that, I'd probably go with a different move. Now, I've got a couple of items that could work well on this. I'm thinking heavy duty boots is always handy, blocking all those hazards and stuff like that. Very handy item to have. Now, you could also run the eject pack, as I mentioned before. There's so many good items you could run. You've got Life Orb on there. You've got Heck, you've got choice band, like your scarf, you know, that all those items are going to be very, very good on this Pokemon. You for even argument's sake, you could even run Assault Vest and make it tanky. That's kind of nice because the opponent, like, this has already really got good bulk, like 100 base in health, 97 defense, 87 special defense. That's very respectable with a 100 base stat. So if you've got Assault Vest on there, it's going to be able to tank a lot more than what it already normally does, and it can already take a fair bit for a sweeping Pokemon. This is such a strong Pokemon, Palafin. I want to say this is probably could be the best Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. It's definitely in the top 5 for me. Let's have a look at moves if you're not going for an acrobatic strategy. If you are going for an acrobatic strategy, I'm just thinking of Terra. If you don't want to Terra the water, you could Terra the flying for a little bit of surprise. That could definitely work. But water is just going to be so powerful, you know. If not, you could definitely Terra for ice as well off Ice Punch. That could be a really good idea, you know, incoming grass Pokemon, you know, annoying dragon that comes in there. Nice little bit of surprise there. You could definitely turn it into a fighting type of close combat. That would do a lot of damage, like especially fighting stab. 120 base power. That's going to be hitting like really, really powerful. Now, I wanted to touch on Jet Punch. So I know a lot of people like running Jet Punch. I do like it, but I think it's a bit weak. It's got better options here, and it's not exactly a slow Pokemon, you know? I mean, it's got 100 base speed. I know there are things that can outspeed it, but I believe that just looking at its physical moves, so Aqua Tail's not a very good move there, competitively speaking, so you probably like never run that. 90 accuracy is just, you need to be hitting, right? You need to be hitting. So I'd be going with Liquidation. I believe that's his best all-round water type move to use, because you've got 85 power, you've got 100% accuracy, and you have a 20% chance to drop the target's defense too. Now, Aqua Jet can come in handy for sure. Not Aqua Jet, sorry. They're very, very similar moves. They can come in handy like a lot. Aqua Punch, you know? Or Jet Punch, sorry. I'm getting Aqua Jet and Jet Punch mixed up. So, yeah, that's got a 60 base power. It still is a very good move. Like, it's sort of what you want, right? Do you want a priority move? Do you really like a priority move on a team? It's very handy, yes, but it is going to lack a little bit of base power. Sure, you could go Terra Water as well, then Jet Punch, but you will find that Jet Punch will not one-shot things. It's just sort of like cleaning up, you know? So if you want like a move to clean up, you're not really going for a full-on sweep with Palafin Hero. You just want to swap it in when, you know, a lot of the team is weakened. Sure, great move. If you want a little bit more, if you want to pack a bit more of a punch there, I'd suggest Liquidation, and you know that's going to be hitting very hard. Plus, you've got that 20% chance to drop the target's defense. So if you come against something that's pretty thick, it's going to do like way more there, and you'll be able to tell the difference for sure. Now, and a couple of other things here. Another good, let's get rid of Acrobatics, and Acrobatics is only going to work with a consumable item, right, as you know. So we've got another move on here. I've got another physical set that I'm going to show and see. So we've got moves like Outrage. That's not really going to do too much. We've got Zen Headbutt. Now, Zen Headbutt is kind of only there for coverage, so maybe like, I don't know, like a fighting type or a poison type, but it's not really going to be all that handy. Unless you want to do a surprise Terra into a Psychic, that could be like an option too, but I don't see any other really moves there. I mean, some other options you could use here. I'm just having a look. I mean, we already talked about Aqua Tail. If you want to go for more power of Aqua Tail, you can. I just like Liquidation better because you don't miss and you've got that chance to actually hit. It does have Bounce as well, but once again, that is an option. That is actually an option for a flying type move, but it is a turn 2 move, so you have to go for, unless you want to be using something gimmicky like Power Herb, it's not really all that good, you know. And yeah, they're probably the moves that I go for on the physical set. I'll show you this next one I came up with too. Once again, I love to hear people's opinion. You know, the Liquidation, Jet Punch sort of thing. It's always what you want. So this is more of this one here. I didn't mention Wave Crash. It is a powerful move, but it does have that recall, you know. So this is why I think it's going to work better on, say, a Choice Scarf set or even a Choice Band set. So on this set, I've purely made it to work with its the hero ability. So when you transform, you can flip turn Choice Scarf, and we've got Close Combat, Ice Punch, same coverage as them. Very good moves, and I've got Wave Crash. So Wave Crash is going to be my, my stab water type move, which is going to be hitting very hard. Now, the reason I've given it Adamant too, so now I'm confident that I'm going to outspeed stuff. I've seen a couple of people run Choice Scarf Palafin, and it's actually very, very good. Outspeeds a lot of stuff. You can adjust the EVs too. I want to say with my EVs, I like to run the 252 sort of EVs most of the time, unless I'm really trying to get into a certain speed bracket, but I'm not really sure what sort of like if you're playing like a Smogon tier or VGC, so you can always adjust the, if you want to be able to live a move, you can add those little EVs in there. I'm just doing a general sort of build, and you can adopt that to your team and sort of rule set that you're playing, and I always like to mention that. But yes, so we got Flip Turn and Choice Scarf, which works great, Close Combat Ice Punch, and you've got Wave Crash. Now, Wave Crash is 120 base power, it can't miss, and it's got it's very powerful, you get a couple of hits here with it, and if you could I just Terra Water, it's just going to do so much damage. Water Absorb Pokemon would be a good counter for Palafin Hero. I'm thinking Vaporeon would be a top counter for it as well. Another one that wouldn't be bad would be Clodsire, but it has to watch out for Ice Punch, but it's probably going to be able to take Ice Punch and hit back. Not really hard, so it's not really that much of a counter. I'd say Vaporeon and Water Absorb, because it can take like quite a lot of these attacks and stuff like that, and it might be able to cause you some problems there. Now, I'm also thinking here for other items. So we've got Choice Scarf. Choice Band could work as well. You could run Choice Band easily on this. You could go for even... There's some more gimmicky items like Leftovers if you were to build like a tanky set. But all the items that I mentioned, I feel, are probably the best ones that you're going to get the most out of Palafin Hero. It's a very, very powerful Pokemon. Just going through my other... These are some more competitive sets. I've got one other here. So I actually did a Palafin Hero sweep on YouTube. If you haven't watched it already, make sure you do. This is kind of what I would suggest if you want to go for a setup set. Now, Palafin Hero gets Bulk Up, which is excellent. That's going to give it an attack boost and a defense boost. With this, there's virtually no drawbacks. There's no like speed drops or anything like that. Now, I've run Jelly on this because I know that I'm already going to get an attack boost. And you've got that extra bulk from Bulk Up, and you've got the extra attack boost. This is a weakness policy set. This is another item that could work as well. It's a bulky enough Pokemon to leave a super effective hit, within reason, of course. And I've got Acrobatics on there. So Acrobatics, once again, works very well consumable items. Now, I've got Drain Punch on there too. So you say you go Bulk Up. Okay, well, I know I can, finish the opponent off with a Drain Punch or do a lot of heavy damage after a Weakness Policy. Bam, Weakness Policy, Drain Punch, and get a lot of your health back. And then you won't be prone to fainting to priority moves. So some very, very good options. I've given a Liquidation too, but I do know a lot of people like to run Jet Punch there. I personally like Liquidation better, but Jet Punch is very handy in the right situation for sure. It's nice to have a priority move, against very, very fast opponents, or opponents that have got a couple of speed setups and things like that. Okay, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I built this. You could, if you really wanted to, I was also thinking of something crazy here, just bear with me here a sec. This could work. I'm sort of thinking of something on the spot. A really, really tanky build, right? Let's get rid of Weakness Policy. So I've got Jet Punch here. We're going to make use of Jet Punch. So Jet Punch, I'm not even going to worry about speed at all. So I've got a really tanky Jet Punch set. Jet Punch and Drain Punch. That's nice because you've got some recovery. And even with no EVs, it's going to outspeed a couple of slower Pokemon. We'll get rid of Acrobatics. That's not going to work. So this is more of a gimmicky style set, but it might be a little bit of fun to use. I think it'll also have definite merit. So we got AV would work well on this. So we'll go AV. So we've got Jet Punch and Drain Punch. That's actually kind of nice. Now, I'm thinking we're going to run into problems of grass-type Pokemon, yeah? So Ice Punch is always good. We've got all the punching moves. It actually gets Focus Punch, but you can't really make use of that. You'd probably need to have, Substitute or something along those lines. But this could be a really fun set. I was sort of looking if it had any other priority moves, but it doesn't. I mean, it's got Aquajet, which is just there's no reason to run Aquajet at all. But yeah, you could even, you know what? You could put Flip Turn on there. How's that? That's not a bad set. It's surprising. It's going to be super bulky. You're going to be able to do a nice amount of damage. You're going to be able to activate your ability. So it's more of a really tanky set. And I believe that could work. It'll be a good surprise factor. Okay, there's some good competitive sets there and a little bit of fun with the Assault Vest one. This thing, So it's special attack. No one's really going to pick special attack, in my opinion, but 106 base is still pretty... That's still really good. Like, this Pokemon is so wild. So I've come up with two special sets here. So this is a Scope Lens Focus Energy set. I noticed it got Focus Energy, so I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun. So 100% crits all around. So we got crits on Hydro Pump. If you want to run some team suggestions here, if you want to run this on a rain team, if you've got rain dance up, that's going to do a lot more damage. So it's going to be really, really nice. You've got Ice Beam there just for coverage purposes. You know, sort of the same reason you'd carry Ice Punch on it. Just this is a special side. And I've got Terra Blast Grass as well. So that'll be a little bit of surprise coverage there for another water type who thinks they can come in and is going to get wrecked. The EV spread, I've given this Timid because we need to have that extra speed, and we're going to be critting 100% of the time there, so it's going to make up for the special attack not being modest. But yeah, kind of an interesting set there. This is more of a bulky special set. This has got Boom Burst and Throat Spray. Got Boom Burst, which is pretty cool. I've given it Hydro Pump as well. We've got Terra Ground, which could be nice for electric types. Now, I want to say Terra Ground could also work on a physical set. You know, and we've got Grass Knot as well, which a little bit of grass coverage there, you know, can absolutely not go astray. Now, I run this one as a really tanky one. I've run this Max Health, Max Special Attack Modest. You could easily do something like this as well and, you know, run it speedy. But yeah, that's a couple of options there on the special side. I'm sort of just thinking here, if there's any more I can go over. It's such a good Pokemon. Once again, if you want to put in your movesets below, you know, please do. I always like to go through the comment section and even if people have like a different opinion on a moveset and stuff like that, or what works better, that's fine. I don't even mind that. I like, you know, healthy debate is good. So we've got Palafin here. Let me bring this up again. Let me clean this set up and let's see if we can think of something else here. So I want to look at its status move. So it's got agility. I don't see agility working. Now, this is interesting. It's got Haze and Taunt. That's kind of like, this could be some sort of like some weird sort of bulky support lead. Like, that could work nicely too. So you could taunt any entry hazards. You could get rid of any stats with Haze. Just sort of thinking on my feet here, and you can activate your ability. And then you could have like some other... You know, you could have some other coverage move there as well. Like, you might want to give it like Ice Punch or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, that could be something interesting as well. And you could opt to run like something like Leftovers on there. You know, a little bit more and make it very tanky. As for EVs, look, I mean, it's got a lot of attack. Like, you could real bulky build it. You know, max special defense, and I'd run something like you know, Impish Nature. You got some all round bulk. And this is more like support and getting rid of any entry hazards or stopping any setup Pokemon, stuff like that. Like, that could actually, I could see that definitely working. You know, not being a little bit more of a surprise set, and the opponent thinks they can set up. And you know, you could adjust it if you really want. Like, this could be another option. Like, it does have a lot of bulk, so you could easily give it like Jolly as well if you're really concerned about getting that Taunt off first and that Haze off first. That could definitely be an option with Palafin. Such a cool Pokemon, you know. It's just got those amazing stats. So, let me do another one here. We're having a little bit of a longer video today. Let me know if you like these. If you like these videos, do you mind if these videos are longer? Like, I've done them. I've tried to keep them around like 15 minutes or so, but I can do longer videos if people enjoy like more in-depth stuff. I don't mind doing that. I wasn't really sure how long to actually adjust these videos for. It does get Iron Head too. That's another physical move you could run on there, turning into a Steel type. That's another reasonable option. As for coverage, well, it doesn't really give too much, except for like, you know, like, well, Rock you don't have to worry about. You've got Fairy there, so maybe. I don't know. Maybe some Fairy type Pokemon that could be handy there. I'm just having a look at... Oh, my goodness. It's got Reversal. All right. Look at this set. I've got a PIMPNITE special here. Here we go. I'm going to finish it with a PIMPNITE special. So, I notice it gets Reversal. Does it get Endure? Oh, it gets Endure. So, look at this. This is a banger, all right? Look at this. All right. I know you people love Jet Punch on your Palafin Hero, so it's going to work perfectly. So, this right here is... This is going to be some... This is going to be some nice content. So we got Reversal, Endure, and Jet Punch. So what I want to do is we want to swap this in, right? And it's very bulky, so it's probably going to be fairly hard for this to get one-shotted. Now, obviously, for this to work, you'd probably have to swap it in, then swap it out. So we're not really worrying too much about getting it from base form. Let's assume we can get it into Palafin Hero form by just doing a swap, right? Now, I've got Reversal, which is going to be... You can get that full base power with Endure by putting it on 1 health, and you've got Jet Punch as well, so no one can outspeed you, and you'd be hitting hard from the weakness policy, right? Not a bad set. So I'm trying to think of some other counters. Gyarados would be a really, really bad Pokemon against this. This would be very nasty. So how about we give him a surprise? A surprise electric. Yeah. Man, Gyarados would get wrecked. So that I can see that working. I'm not saying it's without counters, but that could work. Like, you've got Terra Blast Electric for, like, Gyarados Pokemon, Bulky Waters. You've got Jet Punch for priority, and you've got Reversal for a really strong base power move there. And you've got Endure as well to sort of, like, see what moves are coming and, stuff like that. Interesting set. Anyway, people, I think I've wrapped up Palafin Hero and how to get it into, from the base form to Palafin Hero pretty well. I think I've covered a lot of good sets as well. If there is a Pokemon set you'd like to see me do, please let it below. I am trying to cover the more, like sought after Pokemon first. I do plan to cover all the Gen 9 fully evolved Pokemon for sure. It's just going to take me a little bit of time to get through them and things like that. Tomorrow, I will be putting up a video of all the... treasure ruins as well. Treasure ruin, I think that's what you call them, the treasure ruins. Like, I'm going to put 3 of them up and probably the last one up the next day. So I want to finish some guides on them, like Ting Lu and things like that. We'll have a look at them tomorrow. So tomorrow will be a full-on moveset day. So for the people that really like these videos, yeah, they'll be out there. Anyway, people, I think that wraps up today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please drop a like there. Please drop a comment below. And yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.